Coach, what did you make of this when you read about it, when you heard about it?
Disbelief. I mean, I was in shock, you know, because I spent a lot of time with Vontae. We shared a lot of great moments together. I've seen this guy play at the highest level. You know, I'm not in that man's shoes. I don't know
Coach,
where
did you trade for him?
Yes, we did.
You traded for him, and also
back in 2012 from the Dolphins.
Yeah, and you put him in the most, I mean, dependable situation. He was traveling around at his best when he made the Pro Bowl. You had him guarding the best receiver, so he's a guy that you had a lot of respect, a lot of confidence in, and a lot of responsibility.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And again, timing is everything. The timing on this one obviously is. It's a head scratcher, but this is a good kid. Again, I don't know where he's at physically, where he's at emotionally. You hate to see this for that organization. The Bills right now sitting at 0-2. They don't need the distraction. They didn't need this, obviously. But, you know, I wish the best for this kid, you know, moving forward. And if he's done with football, which he probably is at this point, I think that's obvious. That's a moot point. But, again, it's hard.
It's that, listen, guys retire mid-season often. We've seen some great players, you know, go in with another team, realize, I'm not as good as I thought I was, my body's not in the shape. It's the fact, if he had retired today, I don't think anyone, it's not a story. I mean, it's a story for the Bills, but listen, it's a guy they gave $5 million to this offseason. His contract was guaranteed, played a couple games, realized I don't have it. Maybe they try to claw some of that money back. But it's during the game that it makes this a huge story. Like, the Bills weren't going to win this game either way, but how does that message filter throughout the team in the second half, and how does that affect other guys on the team?
I mean, it doesn't filter at all, because the one thing that we say, even the players and the coaches, we detach ourselves from the front office. It's like it's us. Like, we're in this together, and if you can depend on nothing else, you can depend on me as your brother. And it's just not something we've ever seen before. I've seen guys quit at training camp. I've seen guys come in at lunch, turn their room keys in, turn their playbook in, and say, this is not for me. But we just don't see veteran players, guys who have made a lot of money off this business, because there's a way to do things. And I don't want a guy out there if his mind is not into it. So I do have a little bit of understanding. I don't want you out there for 30 other minutes. People will say, well, why didn't he wait till after the game? Well, someone can really get hurt. If you don't have your mind in the right place, if you're not sold out to what you need to do for your body and for your teammates, no, he shouldn't be out there. I would have thought that he got 30 minutes of football left in him, and then he can quit today.
Well, and tell me if I'm wrong, even if he realizes I can't be out there, he can go, I would imagine, to the coaches and say, I can't play anymore today. Like, find me, whatever it is, I can't. But that's different than putting on your street clothes, showering, putting on your street clothes, and leaving during the football game.
And I'm just going to say this, and Kevin Love and what he did this year, totally different circumstance as far as him struggling with anxiety. Man, we don't know what people are going through. We think because we're sitting on our couch like, man, these guys got a glamorous job. Man, there's some ugly parts to football. And my last year playing in Miami, and I got my kidney, and my kidney was only working 20%. First pass they threw to me, Tyrone hit me, and I wish I could have quit. Later on that season, I dropped a touchdown for us to potentially send us into the playoffs against the Vikings in the Metrodome. Me, dropped an easy touchdown. Bam. Man, I wish I could have quit. Man, there ain't no easy way to get out of this business. But I do respect, though, I don't know where he was mentally. And for him to be a shutdown corner and for him to decide at halftime I don't want to be there, I'm going to try to respect his mental state also, even though I'm upset at the decision he made.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And I think he wakes up, obviously, this morning, and he's saying, you know what, doing just what you're saying. I should have finished. Shouldn't have let my brothers down. It's a brotherhood. You know that, first and foremost, in that locker room. You know, I finish the game and then go about your business. But you're right. We don't know where he's at physically and where he's at mentally.
I always believe this, man, like a carpenter. I like to sign off on my work every day. Like, what'd you do? I did that. What did you say? I had 5 for 80. Well, what did you do? Now, he can't sign off on that work. You can't sign off on that right there. unless there was something really going on in his head that you can't sign off on that. And every day, that's what I try to pride myself on. I'm going to sign off on the work that I did. And that right there, what he signed off on, is just not.
And for a player, for a player, like you said, Pro Bowl player, a guy that was shut down corner his time, now this is his football epitaph. Like, this is what he will, because he wasn't a great enough player that he had a legacy, quote unquote, beforehand. If people bring up Vontae Davis and people remember him in 5 years, the guy that quit during the game, that's brutal.
Well, unfortunately, you spend a lifetime building up this. And one decision
yes, sir.
Right.
can tear it down in a heartbeat.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.